You're back, James.
I am back. Welcome.
Yeah.
Or to me.
To you. Yes.
Hello.
I could have taken care of that, but
sure. You know what? Let's try it again.
Self-love is important.
Okay.
Self-love is important.
Welcome, James. Welcome back to the real world and to the podcast and to whiskey.
Yeah, absolutely. Cheers. And what are we drinking out of?
We are drinking out of the official Trailer Hitch Rocks glasses, etched in it with our logo and the need to see license plate from our logo, given to us
is so dope
as a Christmas gift from my dear friend and cousin Nick Johnson.
And if you listening are interested in getting Trailer Hitch glasses, I guess ask Nick, because that's how we got ours. We don't really have the means for official merch yet. But I guess hit us up.
Make them yourself. Steal the image from our website. And just make them. Yeah, just make it yourself.
Totally. All right.
I'm just saying we don't condone that. I allow it for Nick, and that's it.
Exactly.
Sorry. Go through Nick.
We are back. We are now recording
yes.
at our usual spot. So, we typically record a few days before the podcast drops.
Yes.
So that way we can be as up-to-date as possible while throwing in all of our editing bells and whistles, too.
There's so many bells and whistles.
Absolutely.
You gotta add that production value.
Mm-hmm. Pros. So, now that it's been a few weeks, there obviously has been a lot of trailers that have come out. There's a lot to catch up on. There's a lot to talk about. So in true Trailer Hitch fashion, we're going to fuck off to France. We're going to do our annual Cannes Film Festival roundup called Conquest.
It is the Cannes Film Festival, that's right.
But don't worry, we do also have a Marvel trailer to talk about. So if you heard...
From way back when.
From weeks ago.
Yeah.
So if you heard Cannes and immediately went, whoa. Don't worry, there's still something for you.
There's some geeky fun stuff in it for you guys, too.
And there's a theme song for you, too.
You can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
Turn the lights, grab a seat, pour yourselves a whiskey neat. It's time to judge the shit out of these future releases by the movie trailers. We're Trailer Hitch. This movie might totally suck, but the whiskey sure is going down fine. Yeah, we're Trailer Hitch.
These are such nice glasses.
Yes, aren't they?
My cousins need to step their shit up.
Look, I do have the best cousins in the world. I don't like to brag, but I fucking will.
You're clearly proving it. There is evidence, and it's in my hand. By the way, welcome to Trailer
Welcome to Trailer Hitch, everyone.
I am Kevin.
And I am James.
This is a trailer podcast where we rate and review trailers. So we rate them on a scale of need to see more, or never need to see. If we both give a trailer a need-to-see rating, we celebrate. Then we go, we see the movie, report back to you guys in a trailer in the rear view segment.
That's right.
Where we assess the trailer in retrospect, see how it matched up with the movie, and give you our general thoughts about the movie as well.
Absolutely.
But today, we have quite a bit to get into, because there were a lot of trailers that came out, and they all came from France. The Cannes Film Festival happened.
They're not all French films. I just want to a lot of diversity there.
It's an international festival. Thank you for the clarification. So we'll be getting into that, but before we get into that, we will be talking about the newer Spider-Man Far From Home trailer.
That's right. A definite request.
However, before we even get into that, we did actually get a comment. Now, at the end of the show, we'll always say people wanted to email us, or if they wanted to leave a comment on something,
on YouTube.
Yeah, we'll totally read it on the show. And usually people, I assume, just agree unequivocally with everything we say.
It's an empty promise. No one ever comments, so I have no problem promising that. However,
someone showed us up and actually left a comment.
Fantastic.
And this comment is actually kind of pro Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
Interesting. So, eagle-eared listeners will remember, Kevin and I were
still have to look up the anatomy of eagles.
No, I love it. No, don't ever look it up. Listeners will remember, Kevin and I were very anti-Sonic the Hedgehog trailer.
Yeah.
But I am very willing to take a second glance at it after hearing our fans comment here.
Or just to hear alternate points of view.
Well,
because,
yeah, exactly.
certainly our point of view matched up
is
with...
the professionals.
It is absolutely a professional viewpoint. Matched up with, I would say, 99.98%
Sure.
of the pop.
People like talking about the negative stuff.
Of course.
And we
Hashtag
jumped.
Hashtag Game of Thrones.
Yeah, we jumped on that bandwagon. So
We're moving on to the comment of Will Medved. This is Will's take on the Sonic movie debacle.
Okay.
He is going to wrap into Detective Pikachu. I just didn't want that to blindside you.
is it a spoiler for Detective Pikachu?
It is not.
Okay,
no.
good.
No, it's a compare and contrast between the two
And
characters.
lastly,
Yeah.
I have not read this comment. I think I just want everyone to know. You reading it to me, Kevin, will be the first time I'm hearing it. Because I want to go in fresh.
It's a shame I have to read this, otherwise I would love to see you react to it and then provide commentary.
Do you want me to record myself?
He frowned.
And then we'll show... How about I'll verbally say what my emotions are.
Please do. All right, this is
Sorry if I interrupt you then.
It's okay. This is a comment from Will.
Yeah.
I was so anti-Sonic movie when it came out. Then after the trailer, it wasn't nearly as bad as expected. I'm going to be honest here. The Sonic movie trailer looked way better than the Detective Pikachu one.
Gasp.
I actually felt sick after watching it. The whole time, I was just waiting for Pikachu to say, "Let me get a Pikachu, girl." And no one complained about Pikachu's design, which is not as bad as Sonic's. But still, why isn't anyone complaining that he's incredibly fuzzy? What iteration of
very
Pokemon
fuzzy. Yeah.
shows him as being fuzzy? He should be rubbery, like an insulator.
Because he's electric. I get it.
Well, he's based off of a mouse. I can hear people say, mice aren't that fuzzy. It's odd how Sonic just gets crapped on deservingly, but Detective Pikachu seems to get a free pass because it's Pokemon. Is what he's bringing to the table.
Okay, all right.
So it isn't so much pro-Sonic as it is, why is that giving what he considers to be a free pass? So
I think that's fair. Okay.
So, I mean, I am more than happy to give, my take on
this
what
viewpoint.
I see. What I see as the difference between the two. So when it comes to Pikachu's design, I would assume that the fuzziness is just to make him cuter. And that is
interesting.
The appeal of Pikachu. And I think that is why that character was pushed as the face of Pokemon versus...
When the cartoon came out?
Yeah,
instead of Charmander?
Or Geodude. You know what I mean?
It never would have been Geodude. He was always a background Pokemon. Come on, Kevin.
Hashtag justice for Geodude.
Justice for Geo.
He was always in my 6. He was always in my roster. But the adorableness of Pikachu is a big selling point, and I think to create a fuzzier and therefore more cuddly iteration was probably what they were going for.
And it probably helped offset the mature voice of Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah,
especially
a juxtaposition between the two, if you will.
If you're creatively going in that direction of Deadpool Light, which some may or may not respond to, Will might not have liked that as much. I thought it was funny at times. There were aspects of it. There were certain lines in the trailers that I was like, meh. But anyway, if you're going with that creative direction, maybe you need to balance it a little bit by making Pikachu even more cute. And fuzziness would add that, I think.
Definitely. The jokes that Pikachu launches, as you said, there are a good chunk that don't land. And some of them feel like really easy jokes.
Yeah.
And the Deadpool lightness of it was something that we called out when we reviewed the trailer, so we're definitely aware of that. I can understand why you may be like, hey, I get it, Sonic doesn't necessarily look great, but neither, in my opinion, did Detective Pikachu. And bear in mind, this is entirely subjective.
Sure.
So we can... What was the trailer we hated? The Spy movie with Dave Bautista where it's...
And the little girl.
Yeah, and it's him and a little kid. We both gave that Never Need to Sees. You, the listener, might look at that trailer and be like, this is the peak of comedy. What the fuck are y'all talking about?
This is the Pikachu of comedy.
Oh my god! Did you write for Detective Pikachu, sir? Yeah, you might look at that trailer and you might love it and you might entirely disagree with us, and that's totally fine because that's what a subjective medium is. And so we totally respect your viewpoint, Will, and it's always good to make us look at another trailer again and try and see if something makes us bump on it or if In retrospect, something that we said didn't landed. That's why, in retrospect, I think I was a little bit cooler with Detective Pikachu and was much harder on Sonic the Hedgehog.
and it's more, after listening to the comment, it's more of a negative about Pokemon than it is a pro about Sonic.
It really
like you
is.
said,
Yeah.
I don't think will disagree with us that Sonic was bad. Like the design,
yeah.
it's just the physical features, not
Yeah.
the texture. Texture can be wrong. Like if something's fuzzy when it's supposed to be rubbery or vice versa.
Yes.
I understand that. But the proportions of actual attributes of this being is so off. The
Yeah.
eyes were weird.
Yeah,
The teeth were
I was
weird.
about to say, do you really want a Sonic with teeth?
The nose, the hair, everything was weird. And also, I'm not a big fan. I love Ben Schwartz, but I'm not a big fan of his voicing Sonic.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like Sonic to me. It just sounds like Jean Ralphio from Parks and
yeah,
Rec.
kinda.
That's
and
it.
a lot of the humor in it felt like it was a family movie from the 90s. And in
Sure,
retrospect, I mean, having Jim Carrey playing a goofy iteration of his 90s output.
Dr. Robotnik.
And honestly, even in retrospect, that might give some credence to why Gangster's Paradise. We're just kind of going for 90s nostalgia, and there's no thought behind what that nostalgia means.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where thank you for making us think about this a little harder.
Thank you, Will, though. Thank you.
Yes, 100%. Thank you so much, Will. We are going to get to our first trailer of the podcast.
Absolutely.
We are going to be taking a look at Spider-Man Far From Home, its second trailer. This is, once again, a listener request from Rio. Thank you so much, Rio. And by the way, folks, if you ever want us to talk about a specific trailer, feel free to leave a comment like Will did. Feel free to reach us like Rio did through any of our social medias.
Yep.
Or if you know us, I guess just text us.
Just text us, yeah.
We will get into it as we're going to get into Far From Home right now.
The Spider-Man Far From Home trailer is about to play, but if you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, stop watching because there's some serious spoilers about to come up.
What up, dorks?
What's up? We're just talking about the trip.
I'm here in St. Marco Polo's. Oh,
I think MJ really likes me.
that reminds me when I first fell in love.
You're a very difficult person to contact, Spider-Man. This is Mr. Beck.
We could have used someone like you on my world.
Your world, Beck, is from Earth, just not ours. The snap tore a hole in our dimension.
You're saying there's a multiverse?
We have a job to do, and you're coming with us.
Country roads take me far from home because this is the new Spider-Man trailer.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice, Kevin. That's a great lead-in to this trailer.
Oh, you're doing an accent.
I'm really bad at accents, but I'm going to attempt it.
Okay.
Hey, everyone. This is Tom Holland. Hello. If you haven't seen Avengers Endgame yet, don't pay attention to this right now. Spoilers for Avengers Endgame. End of impression.
Okay,
How'd I do?
okay, I'm gonna give you my honest take here, man.
Oh boy, don't be honest with me.
No, we got into British, and then it sort of slipped into Australian a little bit.
Oh shit!
It got international, but that's okay because this is the con episode. It's an international episode anyway. I appreciate how on brand you are. So yes, this trailer does have spoilers for Avengers Endgame, as Tom Holland at the beginning of the trailer looks directly into the camera and tells you, as James with a multifaceted accent.
Was that James, or was that Tom Holland that we just recorded and hit play on?
So yes, if you have not seen Avengers Endgame, you definitely want to dip for a second, because we will be getting into those. And that's honestly the first thing I really want to talk about. Man, it's crazy to me that like we're spoiling an entirely different movie in the trailer. And I guess it's not too crazy because, as you mentioned on the podcast, the Happy Death Day 2 You trailer absolutely spoils Happy Death Day 1. It tells you who the killer is.
There was a year, at least, maybe more, between those two films. And Avengers Endgame just came out, like, what, a month and a half ago?
And then, maybe 3 weeks, a month after that, Far From Home drops a trailer. It's like, we're all just going to assume you saw this, which seems ballsy, but at the same time, did you see how much fucking money that movie made? You probably
saw it. Yeah, if you were gonna see it, you probably saw it. So.
Exactly. So that right out the gate was really interesting to me. But something I've been noticing about Marvel's latest batch of teasers and trailers, a lot of them do kind of feel like previously ons, like from TV shows, where we're kind of
That's fair.
bringing in like stuff from what happened in the previous installments, just so you remember that, because that provides context for this. And I think a reason why it's kind of harder for me to assess it as its own trailer, because if I were to, fuck all the previously on stuff, I don't need that, but this is really unprecedented, because we haven't had a 20-plus movie franchise before. Like continuing into
unprecedented is the perfect term. You're right. It's you're creating the rules yourself.
And this obviously is like a weird new direction for them, where they're like, we gave you a few weeks, so we'll just tell you, if you haven't seen this shit, go away, because the first shot more or less spoils Endgame.
The first and it's not just the shot. It lingers.
Yeah.
Like the entire trailer.
And there's VO, and absolutely.
Yeah.
It is, and I would hope at this point we gave you enough leeway. Tony Stark's death does impact Spider-Man throughout this entire trailer.
Which makes sense if you've seen these movies.
Of course.
If you've seen Avengers, if you've seen Spider-Man Homecoming, it makes sense that Iron Man's death, Tony Stark's death, would impact him, and that going into this next movie, he's not going to just be his hunky-dory, chipper self.
Yeah.
And
True.
I think there's something to be said for it being fair that it covers that. But yeah, you're right though. Just the time difference between Endgame and this is very short. It's so short.
Yeah,
Kevin.
totally. But I mean, getting into the actual
Let's
trailer.
get into the actual
now
trailer.
that we've kind of dumped like the bigger, broader implications. I liked it. It definitely has the melancholy that you would expect the character to have after the passing of his mentor and father figure, while also maintaining the fun breeziness from the first Spider-Man installment of this particular iteration of the character.
Correct, yeah.
And so, to a degree, the character is growing up, but they're not going to fast forward him growing up.
No. And the character himself is doing everything in his power to stay in kid world, in high school world.
Yeah.
Because he even says, no, I'm putting a pause on all the superhero stuff. I'm
putting Nick Fury to voicemail. Yeah.
I'm ghosting Nick Fury.
Yeah.
I'm going on my class trip.
Yes.
I'm gonna talk to the girl I like. He's consciously making that decision to pump the brakes on him growing up. And I think that's a cool parallelism for the studio pumping the brakes on graduating Spider-Man too quickly from high school. Because every Spider-Man movie franchise to date, the Tobey Maguire one, the Andrew Garfield one, have graduated him from high school, if not in the first movie, the second movie right at the beginning.
Yeah.
So this looks like it's like, oh no, we're keeping him in high school. That's where he works good.
And ultimately, I'm really responding to this iteration of the character.
Absolutely.
Because of that.
Yeah.
Because we're not trying to grow him up too fast. We're not going to give him bangs and have him dance down the street. He is going to...
That's how you mature,
be actively making mistakes. And granted, sure, I guess growing up bangs and dancing in the street is a mistake. But he's going to make mistakes that a high school kid would make and have to try and learn from that. And I think introducing death into his arc, where this becomes far more real from him, and the risk of what he's doing becomes more clear, is really interesting.
We haven't seen it, so it's good to see it now. But in this universe, his Uncle Ben did die not that long ago.
Sure.
So the character has dealt with death, but we get to see it now with Tony Stark.
Yeah, definitely. If there's anything that I might be kind of bumping on, Something that I really loved about Homecoming is how much work they put into Michael Keaton's Vulture character. They gave his character a drive that was evil, but ultimately empathetic. You understood.
Empathetic, perfect.
Yeah, you completely understood where he was coming from. You just dipped when he started murdering folk. Now, having Jake Gyllenhaal's character...
Mysterio.
Be Mysterio.
Yeah.
Who, in this particular iteration, is from the multiverse... But at the same time, if Mysterio is coming from this alternate universe, that does immediately put a barrier between us with him. Having Michael Keaton's Vulture just be a guy in Long Island or wherever he was from.
Absolutely, yeah.
It makes us connect to him just a little bit more. And right now, I'm not seeing a lot from Jake Gyllenhaal's character that makes me say, oh, I get where he's coming from. But to be fair, I didn't really get that much from Michael Keaton in the Homecoming trailers. And
that's fair.
I saw the movie, and he was honestly a pretty full-fledged character.
Really start empathizing with him when the twist happens in Homecoming.
Correct.
Where you realize he's the father of the love interest to Peter Parker.
Correct.
So there could be a number of ways to make us empathize with Mysterio in this one. I don't even know if he's from a different dimension. He could be lying about that.
That's fair. Yeah, totally
he could have just like swindled Nick Fury. Nick Fury is having teenagers ghost on him. He's not right.
Yeah, I was
He's not exactly on his A game lately.
He did just come back from the fucking dead.
He was gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
He was gone for 5 years.
Yeah.
And he's got teenagers ghosting him.
He knows what turning into dust feels
Yeah.
like. That's gonna mess with
So
anyone.
maybe someone might be able to convince him he's from a different dimension and he's actually not. I don't know. But
Sure.
Look, bottom line, I do really like this trailer. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse trailers introduced this concept of a multiverse better.
Sure.
This one felt a bit rushed. A bit like, you saw Endgame, right? You saw Endgame, right? Okay, well, the things from Endgame, it made it a multiverse. Okay, we're diving into that now. Like, that's kind of how this felt, where Into the Spider-Verse was like, this is an origin film. We're gonna lead you through the hand through this multiverse thing.
Yeah, something I'll say, I totally agree that some of the multiverse stuff feels rushed. In the first Far From Home trailer, I liked the progression of the relationship between Zazie Beetz and Peter Parker's character far more, and seeing him awkwardly try to convey to her, hey, I have feelings for you, and her being like, yeah, I know, dipshit, and kind of holding his hand through the flirting process
yeah.
was really sweet, and then it made it all the more surprising when his friend gets fucking murked by a sleep dart. And in this one, I think the thing right before the kid gets hit with the sleep dart is someone trying to take a selfie with a stick and they get punched in the dick.
Great shot.
Which is a great shot.
I love it.
But ultimately...
Literally and figuratively.
Bam.
Yeah, no.
There you go. Writers for Detective Pikachu, we're available for
right
sequel.
here, baby. Deadpool lights. Let's do it.
That said, from an emotional standpoint, certainly the first trailer, I think, builds that a bit better. And
yes, I think so.
In this one, because we now are introducing components from Endgame, it does feel like there is a lot tried to cram into this
Definitely.
trailer.
Also, real quick, I don't know how I feel about them spoiling in the trailer that another person figures out Peter Parker is Spider-Man. MJ clearly is like, oh yeah, it's obvious. I'm like, well, if it's obvious, then what are we doing here with a secret identity?
Yeah.
Every
totally.
other superhero on the planet is fine with just being like, I'm Steve Rogers. I'm Tony Stark. Like, I'm Dr. Stephen Strange. That's just my name. Everyone doesn't have a secret identity other than Spider-Man. Maybe just like forget it if everyone can guess anyway.
Yes.
Anyway, that's all I got.
No,
I like the trailer a lot.
Okay, cool. So we were both at Need to Seize with this before. How are you with this?
I'm still at a need to see.
Okay.
The things that I was like concerned about didn't deter me from loving the trailer. It's just me getting kind of a little too in my head about, how is this franchise gonna handle this multiverse thing, and that shouldn't be on the trailer.
Sure.
I thought the multiverse stuff was rushed, but overall it hit what I wanted it to hit.
Sure.
So there
okay,
you go.
cool. I'll remain at a need to see. It is kind of sinking a little bit.
It dipped.
Just because, like, with this particular trailer, again, it is trying to jam a lot in there.
Yes.
The broader implications of them spoiling a movie that had come out 3 weeks prior is strange to me. But ultimately, at the heart is this iteration of Peter Parker, who I find really interesting. I think that there's so much fun to be had with that character. So I'm willing to kind of forego some of the problems that I'm having with this particular trailer and just see where they take Peter Parker next.
I think so too. Yeah. That's where I'm at.
We're gonna blow this popsicle stand. This popsicle stand being America, being Los Angeles, California, where
being Hollywood. Get out of here, Hollywood.
Yeah. No, we're getting away from Tinseltown, and we are going to, I don't know what kind
Baguette
of
Town?
Baguette Town. Yes, we are heading to the Cannes Film Festival. This is Conquest. Now, if you have listened to previous installments of this particular segment, you will know that we typically, for our intro to this, will throw in the song Conquest by the White Stripes as our intro.
Which is a great song.
Here's the deal. Now that we're on YouTube, they're really big about not letting us put up videos with copywritten music, which, by the way, fair play.
It's fair. It's fair.
We totally get it. Yes. That said, that does kind of leave us, at the moment, sort of blank on an intro song here. So, here's what I found instead. Because I wanted to encapsulate the multiculturalism of the Cannes Film Festival, but also because we don't have a lot of money and we just got to find weird shit on YouTube that's free. This is someone playing Frere Jacques on the bagpipes.
That was very upsetting, but I kind of love it, I think.
Before we recorded, I told you, I think I found another piece of music to use, and you were so concerned about copyright. What I pitched to you is, do you think anyone's going to really want to claim that?
No, I don't.
Right?
No, I mean, I would.
It's a good reminder why no one arranges Frere Jacques on the bagpipes. But anyway.
Or anything on the bagpipes.
Welcome to Conquest.
Hey, we're here. We're in France. What a beautiful sight.
We're either in sunny, rainy, or, I don't know, tornado-y France. I don't know the weather there. But we are here. We are going to be talking about the films for this iteration of the festival. Now, folks, there is 21 movies. Therefore, 21 pieces to talk about. Obviously, this is a lot. We did the math. If we took 5 minutes on each, that would be easily over 90 minutes. We know you don't have the time, so we are going to be going a bit...
We don't have the time.
Yeah, we genuinely don't either. So we're going to be going a bit quicker. We're going to be giving kind of like more capsule thoughts. James and I both wrote a little something about each, just so that way we could have concise opinions, and then we might banter a bit back and forth, or if we disagree, we might tussle, but for the most part, this will be fairly quick.
It'll be fairly quick. Also, I just wrote like one sentence things to remind me of what the trailer
what the actual
was,
thing is about,
and reading back on them, they're kind of funny, so I might read those.
Okay, good. So yeah,
I wasn't going to initially. They were just for me.
Sure.
But now I might share them.
Okay, no, please do. So what we're going to do, folks, I'm going to give you the title of the movie. I'll give you a brief snapshot of premise. Now, here's the deal. Sometimes this has happened before when covering the Cannes Film Festival. Sometimes we do not get trailers. Like, they just don't have one ready.
Happens all the time.
Therefore, they'll give us clips. And sometimes they'll give us trailers or clips that are not in English and don't have subtitles. That leaves James and I to try and extrapolate a premise based off of that. And mostly because we're bitter that they don't give us something to go off of.
How hard is it? Come on.
Right? It's
Come
just
on.
2 minutes.
It's
You
the
can do
con, man.
Yeah.
It's the con.
Our premises will be jokey. We will always let you in the loop of what you're actually seeing, but then also our joke premises on top of it.
You'll be aware.
At the end of this, we will be providing our top prizes.
That's right.
The actual prize at the Cannes Film Festival
They're very fancy sounding.
Yeah.
They are.
The Palme d'Or, which
Ooh.
translates to the Golden Palm.
Okay.
We here at Trailer Hitch, James and I will both give a Palme d'Or.
The Palme d'Or!
As in a trailer door.
You gotta hit it harder. Palme
Yes.
d'Or!
There you go. Thank you. We will give a Palme d'Or to our favorite trailer. Second place at the Cannes Film Festival is the Grand Prix. And that still sounds sort of automobile-like, so we just kept ours as the Grand Prix.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Why change it?
Yeah, if it ain't broke.
Pontiac Grand Prix.
Sure.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, second place actually gets a car. It's fucked up. First place just gets the door, but, well. All right, so here we are, folks. Welcome to Cannes. Our first trailer is A Hidden Life. So this is just a clip. All we see is a woman. This appears to be set in like the 1940s, 50s, something like that. A woman is on a farm. She sees her beloved, pounces upon him. It's clearly reuniting. They kiss a bunch. As far as the premise of the movie is concerned, I say a farmer is torn between two lives, tending to her farm or making out with the Nazi who gets his balls blown off in Inglourious Bastards. Will her passion for her lover stop her from raking grass? Because that's what she's doing for some reason. Undoubtedly. But will she be mortified by her messy walkway? Apparently, given that she spear tackles her husband before they get there. All right.
Don't look at the chore I did not finish, please.
So here's my take on this. The lyrical camera and editing from Terrence Malick, who's the director, is in full force here.
Whoa!
Didn't
know that.
Namely doing a great job of panning down to her hands. And I thought that was really cool, because obviously film requires just sight and sound. And so for a movie to at least attempt to replicate touch, I thought was pretty neat.
Yes.
But while a passionate high, it seems her life outside of her boo is just raking grass at the moment. And it just might have been nicer to have a little bit more conflict outside of missing her husband.
Sure. From what we get in this clip.
Yes.
So this film is called A Hidden Life. Mm-hmm. And this clip just shows reunited kissing. Mm-hmm. And farm. That's what I wrote here. Mm-hmm. Reunited kissing farm. And sure. I just also wrote not so hidden ? I don't really get a sense of what is a hidden life from this clip.
They're pretty out in the open with their making out.
Well, yeah, I mean, like from this clip anyway, it sounds like this is her husband or something that's coming back from war or something. That's what I'm getting. I get no sense of anything that's hidden in this clip. So, meh.
I was also pretty mad on this.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to Atlantics. So this is couple, guys staring out at the ocean. She's like, fucking look at me, dude. They kiss for a bit. She's clearly head over heels for him. He kind of just gives her like Hallmark platitudes of you're so beautiful and shit like that. All right, so a new take on the biopic genre. This intimately shot film follows a modern day take on Christopher Columbus, his mind too dead set on the ocean to pay attention to the woman desperately trying to make out with him.
Just a reminder. Mm-hmm. These are things Kevin made up.
Yeah.
I just want to...
Yeah, that is not true. That is not true.
I just want to make that as clear as possible.
These are two conflict-free clips of people making out in a row, so
that's
good
true.
On that.
Different visuals, though.
Of course.
Farms, oceans.
And I said, the focus here is interesting, because for once, the male gaze isn't creepy. It's instead mostly just looking at water.
It's ignoring.
Yeah.
Which
progress
the females might have a problem with on that.
It's still bad, but at least it's not, like, aggressive.
Yes.
That said, given the Hallmark platitudes, the male character seems to have his mind on the literal other fish in the sea.
Is that a metaphor?
Fucking maybe. I don't know.
I thought he just liked waves.
Yeah. So intimately shot, but I don't know. Meh. How about you?
I liked the camera angle, which was basically the entire clip. Well, other than the shot of the waves, but the camera angle on them was nice. They were really enraptured in each other, and you could see even if he was distant, you could see there is still a sort of love there.
Correct.
And wherever this movie ends up going is a big question mark for me. I thought it was meh, but it was also still beautiful. Beautiful.
What a weird rating system we got.
Beautiful.
We'll move on.
Thank you.
Oh boy, here we go trying to pronounce this. Bakura. It's Brazilian. And this actually did have a trailer with subtitles, so I can give you a legit premise. A town under attack. Close-ups evoking Sergio Leone? Check. A fascination with coffins evoking Kurosawa's Yojimbo? Check. A coherent narrative? Let's go back to the first two. I said that style is really popping for me. Be it those Carpenter-esque synths in the score, or the foreboding shots of the earbuds, which we're not giving context for. There's a lot here that I was really interested in, and it proved that the neo-western doesn't have to be self-serious, and it can just be a good time. That said, I would have liked at least one action shot here, but the uneasy tension throughout this was enough to perk me up.
Definitely. Okay, so here's what I wrote for Bakurao.
Yeah.
Bakurao?
Sure, I guess.
Horses stampede, pill popping, trippy, Finn.
Okay.
No.
Did you like it?
I did like this one.
Sure.
I did. I thought it was creative and interesting looking.
Yeah.
I'm confused, but that's okay. With things that are trippy, I think it goes hand in hand with not really understanding everything that's happening.
And it does. It feels like an atmospheric trailer, but usually atmospheric trailers are like, here's like deep foreboding, long shots and
it's
stuff
mostly
like that.
melancholy.
This is an atmospheric trailer that's just like, let's have fun, guys!
This is
And
pretty intense.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a fun trailer to watch. I liked it. I thought it was good, but I can't stress enough. It was confusing, though, for me.
Totally.
Yeah.
All right, so next is Pain and Glory. This also had a trailer. Didn't have any words, but I feel like I got enough out of it. I'm going to try this as my premise.
Absolutely.
A rumination on the life of a filmmaker spanning the course of his entire life. Pain and Glory as at once a melancholic look at the humble beginnings to stylish lifestyle and how disconnected the filmmaker becomes from himself in the process, while also being Pedro Almodovar, the director, looking at Roma and saying, well, fuck, I could do that.
In color.
Exactly. Of course, the primary difference between this and Roma is focusing on the entirety of his life, and I'm just going to say it's an autobiographical until proven otherwise.
Sure.
Versus a snapshot of childhood told from the point of view of someone else, which is what Roma was.
Yeah.
While that disconnect I mentioned is really interesting to me, which I'm mostly pulling from just how sad Antonio Banderas looks while wearing an ascot, I'll be curious to see if this could sustain an entire feature. Because, I mean, how glum could you be, Antonio? You've got a popped collar. Still, those shots are pretty mint.
Absolutely. Here's what I got, Kevin.
Yeah.
Antonio Banderas, artist? Question mark. Painful life, I guess. Maybe. Question mark. That's all I got. So I did grasp, not early on, but like midway through that, he's an artist of some kind, possibly a filmmaker.
Yeah.
It was good meh.
Good man.
I said good meh on this one.
Yeah.
I liked the visuals, but
yeah, Almodovar is really good at using color.
yeah.
Within his
Oh,
imagery.
and
that
the
is
wardrobe,
in full force
the
here.
wardrobe of Antonio Banderas, especially.
And that's a good juxtaposition with how spare the dress is during the childhood segments, where
Yes.
Penelope Cruz is playing what I presume is his mother.
Sure. Well, I mean, it's an artist. The life of an artist is always painful, or at least that's what's shown in movies and media. But for the title "Pain and Glory," I didn't get a whole lot of pain in this trailer.
That's fair.
Like
It's a lot of people.
He looks sad.
He looks
but
pained,
I didn't
but-
get the why.
Yeah.
All I see is
Yeah.
he knows a lot of people.
And bear in mind, I'm squinting to make the connection of, oh, I guess he's ruminating on this past, and I guess the reason why he's pained is he's disconnected from that past now that he has
There you
ascended
go.
past this lifestyle.
There you go.
But yeah,
We don't know though.
We don't really know yet.
So that's all I got for that one.
Okay, cool, man. All right, so next is Frankie. This is from an American filmmaker, USA. This is an actress who gives a sum total of 0 fucks, gets diagnosed with a terminal illness. She maintains her 0 fuck attitude while visiting her family, asking them to accept her fate while enjoying the time they have together. So I said kudos conveying a lot with a little. The spare dialogue is like jazz. It's in what they don't say that makes it compelling. Which, bear in mind, I can totally understand why that would be irritating as shit for people. Plus, you just get to see Isabel Hooper basically be what I imagine her to be, a badass who meets her concern with a shrug. Its spareness is its defining aspect, but I hope there's more from the family outside of looking bummed.
That's fair. And I didn't really have anything funny for this one, because we were obviously able to tell what this one was about.
Well, and it's also only like 45 seconds long.
But it's clear. It's concise. Like you said, it's about an actress who's dying. It's very clear. They don't come out and say it in the trailer.
Yeah, a character says, "Oh, Mom."
Oh, you know,
Yeah,
or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good. Bringing the family together, for the reasons that she needs to talk about. The only niche here is, I think, the visuals were relatively uninteresting.
It would have been nice to see a visual style that complemented her free spirit.
Totally, yeah. I mean, the beginning did a little bit of her in the pool, not caring about if there's photographers around. She's photogenic, but otherwise, yeah, it could have used more of that.
All right, word. So next, we got Parasite. So this is an actual trailer with subtitles, a whole lot.
We got full trailer.
All right, so we got a down-on-their-luck family gets good news when their son cons his way into a well-paying job for a wealthy family. Or is it good news? Given the smoke, blood, and chaotic editing, I assume not, but sometimes chaotic editing can get in the way of itself if it doesn't directly establish the threat, so it's hard to tell. For the trailer, I guess it's neat that we're bringing back the trailer voice guy, and he coughs when the smoke drops. I thought that was a nice touch. But while Bong Joon-ho's visual style is still immaculate, the narrative in the trailer gets lost toward the end because of that chaotic editing. Plus, the trailer voice guy keeps coughing in, like, the last title card. Can we get this guy a fucking lozenge? What did you think?
I thought it was nice that it was an actual trailer instead of a clip.
A welcome change of pace this year.
Exactly. But I didn't think it was concise of, like, really what it was about, like, for any of it, for me. Like, I thought it was confusing from, like, phone problems at the beginning to, like, is this like a suspense film about technology going dead or something?
After the second watch, it became clear, like, oh, you guys lost your Wi-Fi, your phone usage because you stopped paying.
That wasn't clear. So you're wrong, Kevin. That wasn't clear.
Okay.
It goes from phone problems to forgery, crimes about a university, to a tutor job, to the word tragicomedy, which I've never heard before in my life.
Oh, that's a thing.
To zero comedy being in the trailer, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And then to horror suspense imagery. Like, it was really interesting. I had a good time watching it. Is just seeing what happens next, but it was confusing as all hell.
Oh, that's
so. Yeah, that's a big meh for me.
Okay, well, we'll move on to the trailer, which did have what they called the trailer. It was just 30 seconds for
teaser.
Yeah,
tease.
A guy walks into a courtroom. There's a bunch of people screaming at him while giving him the devil horn sign, and then in the end, there's a random shot of a white tiger. So, my fake premise is, based on the 2003 incident, the bassist for Siegfried and Roy's backup band gets accused of sicking the tiger on the frontman for his act. While folks still respect how much he rocks given the devil horns on the way to the witness stand, they hate him for selling out their favorite premier Vegas act. What I said, I guess I like the shadows and the cinematography. Those were neat, but we get a lot of watch this rap be a rap movies, so that's not enough for me to be interested.
This is what I have. The Traitor. 30-second teaser. Bad. Just bad. Didn't like it. Don't get it. White Tiger. Sure. It was funny. Moving on. Yeah, moving on.
All right. So this is It Must Be Heaven. This is a wordless trailer which follows an older, perpetually amused but flummoxed older gentleman as he takes in the beauty and absurdity of his surroundings. So, calling to mind the near-silent and wry films of Jacques Tati, but instead of calling out how new practices are destroying old morals, this film seems content in just having the protagonist react to whatever. Whether it be the truly absurd woman with angel wings at the end, or the banality of three men on fucking hoverboards in the middle of the street, it takes away some of the old man yells at cloud qualities of Tati's work, which may lose immediacy for some viewers. But for me, the title ties this all together. It, at once, this takes the piss out of, while celebrating, the oddities of modern day life. As long as this fucker's under 2 hours, honestly, I'll gladly watch this guy furrow his brow more. Maybe it's not heaven, but I thought that the fence was definitely pearly.
Okay, good. This is, maybe I should have gone first. This is what I have. I know, it's very similar.
Okay.
It Must Be Heaven. Guy in fedora looking at stuff. Angel at end. There's clearly a message here that I'm missing.
Okay.
But it's good.
Okay, cool.
That's what I wrote. It was good. I throughout the whole thing, I was like, I bet other people are watching this going, oh, isn't that interesting? This with that, and then he looks at this, and then there's and I'm like, I just don't get it.
I think for me, what kind of helped draw me in was the really wry humor. So when that guy gets on the subway and he's like tattooed as fuck and he's so stern, and then you get a reverse shot of our guy who's just really uncomfortable, and then back to stern as fuck looking guy.
Was he uncomfortable? He had like the same look on his face the whole trailer.
It was a very, very subtle
It's
difference.
subtle. Okay, it's subtle. Just like our reviews.
Yeah,
they were
yeah.
subtly different.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it.
No, I did.
And
I
bear
did.
in mind, like, I'm, of course, and it goes without saying that always I might be reading way too much or way too little in this shit.
Like Parasite, I thought it was good. Like, I don't know what is happening at all.
Sure.
But it's visually stimulating.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah.
All right, so next is the Whistlers. So this was a little 90-second clip where there's a woman outside smoking. Older guy walks up to her.
Yep.
She tries to make out with him and is like, someone's watching us. And then she's like, you have to help me with this thing. And he goes, no. And that's the end of the clip. So my fake premise, an actress desperately tries to impress her agent who watches her improv in a nearby car. However, her acting partner sucks, clearly never hearing of the phrase yes and. And
It's
so
perfect.
this tries to inject sex appeal into a thriller, but without context for why this guy is such a fucking stick in the mud, I'm left colder than, well, that guy.
Yeah, like she might as well have just been like rubbing up against a brick wall.
Basically, yeah.
I just have...
Now that would be interesting. That would speak to the banalities of everyday life, James.
And there was someone tailing the brick wall the whole time, but,
Beautiful.
that brick wall just doesn't go anywhere. I just have to remind myself a little line of, let's get my partner out of prison. No. Let's go inside. We can't. It's being fumigated or something like that. I can't remember. It's just had a reason for everything.
Basically,
of
yeah.
why they can't do what she's suggesting. Big meh for me on this one.
Very much so.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Next is Young Ahmed, which did have a trailer. However, it had subtitles, and I don't know for the life of me what language that was.
I know.
Like, there was a part of me that was like, is this German? No, that feels like way too many consonants in a row to be German. So this is a fake premise. You can find this on YouTube, by the way, if you want to check our math. But my fake premise is when a brilliant young student gets just one wrong answer on a homework assignment, he runs from pretty much everything. The self-obsessed egghead tries everything outside of school, whether it be track and field, religion, or farming, thinking his life is entirely ruined because of one math assignment. And it may well be, given that a pack of nerd bullies beats him up daily for getting that answer wrong. From what I can tell, it's about a kid trying to find his place, joining the pantheon of coming-of-age films, including, well, 30% of what's in theaters now. Kudos for portraying a religion demonized by the right in a frank and nice way, but, dude, there's so many of these fucking movies right now.
Yeah. It's definitely about a kid finding its place, but like you said, there's this like overbearing sense that he did something horrible, though, right?
Right.
Like,
Absolutely.
You said that in your fake premise, but there is legitimately there. Like, I wrote down here, schoolboy did something bad, question mark, on the run, question mark. But then
Yeah.
the trailer ends with him, like, brushing away a girl who's clearly, like, has
Trying
a crush
to
on
lighten
him.
his mood up.
Yeah. And it's like, why end on that note if this kid did something horrible? Clearly, he didn't do something that horrible. I really wish I could understand what they're saying.
Was actually
That's
going on
basically my ending. I liked it, but again, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening here. I wish I did.
All right, but next, we have Les Miserables. No, not that one.
No, not that one.
So this was just like a little 90-second clip where we see a guy driving in a car with a few other people. They're having a very tense conversation.
Yeah. A lot of good imagery of stuff they're passing by.
Correct.
The type of neighborhood they're in and that kind of stuff.
But bear in mind, this clip also had no subtitles and was in French. So my fake premise is after getting the stage role of a lifetime, a Tony Award-winning actor portraying Jean Valjean goes back to driving for Uber. Things get tense when people recognize him and ask him to sing, and he's not being paid enough for that shit anymore. Anyway, I really dug the verite directing style here. It convinced me so much that I actually looked up to make sure that this wasn't a documentary, just because there's a lot of really good punchy zooms. It's all handheld. They also place the camera in the back seat, so it makes you feel like you are a passenger in the cartoon.
It definitely
which
does.
I thought was really neat. Need more context before this makes me dream a dream.
Nice.
Okay. But I'm excited to hear the people sing.
Okay. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
good.
Okay.
I'll just have to take their word for it that this is Les Mis. Oh, wait. I think they said the word prostitute in French. There's a hint. That's all I got. That's all I got. It's shot well. It's shot well. But as a clip, with me not being able to understand anything, this might as well had been from the French remake of The Departed. Like I don't know. Totally. It could have been from anything.
Absolutely. So yeah, visually cool. But
definitely cool.
At the same time, I don't know. All right.
There's not enough music.
Not enough music. Okay, so next is Little Joe. This was in English, but it's just like a 40-second clip of people in a lab. Someone has discovered a flower that can cure depression. At the end, Ben Winshaw makes a shitty joke. But the movie knows that it's a shitty joke.
There is like 6 clips of this out. We picked one that we thought encompassed the plot the best, I think.
Still have a fake premise, though. A new flower that cures depression is about to hit the market. That much is true. Putting the alcohol industry in serious danger. As such, a couple Jameson whiskey employees go undercover to destroy the miracle drug at all costs.
I love it.
Now, here's the thing. The sci-fi concept of this, finding this miracle drug, does have me intrigued, but as you can tell by my joke premise, I think I'm just kind of spoiled because now I'm used to a twist on top of the high concept.
Yes, definitely.
Plus, I get that it's supposed to be a bad joke, but the fact that they chose to end it with that in their first clip and as a first impression to an audience is a really weird choice.
It was strange. So I've actually read interviews from this director.
Oh, cool.
For Little Joe before you even sent me this clip.
Oh, cool.
So I had a little bit of her headspace of where she was at, what she was inspired by. She was inspired by Frankenstein and like things like that. So I'm like, I'm gonna love this Little Joe thing. I can't wait to see this or see clips from it. And I saw this clip and it's just so meh. It's just so meh. There's not much here other than the super general plot of, hey, they're antidepressant plants. Yeah. That's the tagline on the poster or something. I didn't need a clip for that. I want to see this movie, but this clip did nothing for me.
It's so goddamn.
I love the color palette is cool.
As long as we're in the pharmaceutical thing, this clip is a placebo.
Yeah. Well done.
All right, so next is Matthias and Maxime. This was another 1.5-minute clip, completely in French, no subtitles. So my fake premise is, when a son goes home to reconnect with his mother, he finds that she's emotionally replaced him with like 12 people. Dude must have been a real handful. So this is going for the Von Trier style, which is handheld zooming cameras, which is fine, I guess. Definitely complements the messiness of having a dickload of people in a house. That said, even though I don't know what's being said, I can't help but shake the feeling of community theater within this trailer.
Okay.
Perhaps that's just in how stylized everyone's dresses is, just like, do you get it? This person is Ritz here. Or it could just be the fact that the main dude's hair looks like Simple Jack.
It does. Can't understand. Older woman talking to room of younger men. Matt's in trouble. I don't remember why I wrote Matt's in trouble.
I don't really either, and I've seen the clip.
That's why. Okay, so there was a younger woman that randomly poked her nose into the scene.
Yeah, just when you thought, there couldn't possibly be more people here. Yeah. It was like a clown car.
And then right at the end, she's like down the hall, and she goes, Matt, and she like waves him over really abruptly. Abruptly. And I was like, Matt's in trouble. Okay. This was a bad clip. Didn't like it. Moving on.
Okay, to Maktub, My Love, Intermezzo.
Oh, we're going to do this.
All right. So this is the first time
Buckle
this
in,
happened.
guys.
There was no trailer.
Aww.
And there was no clip.
Aww.
This movie, I looked it up, is 3.5 hours long, and you still couldn't manage to find 2 fucking minutes. Huh?
No.
So boo.
Boo.
Shame on you, Matube. That said,
Shame.
This is called Intermezzo.
Shame.
And this does provide a nice intermission for all of our can coverage. So,
Shame.
Take some time, shameless trailer, grab a baguette,
Yeah.
grab a cafe au lait, and strap yourselves in. All right,
Oui.
you good? All right, let's go. Next is the Wild Goose Lake. So this is just a short clip where it's a woman following someone.
Yes.
And then she takes cover in a group of people who are dancing out on the street. A woman who she's following walks away, and then she continues to tail her. It's this brief, wordless 1.5-minute clip. So my fake premise is, after a sweet meet cute, a woman tries to find the gal who just won her heart, but is too goddamn shy to ask for her number, going so far as to join a Village People cover band to avoid asking, hey, what are you drinking?
Yeah.
This takes the clip cake for me. I really like this, mainly because this one gives me an abundance of context within the actual clip. How strange! A woman is tailing another one. That's all I need to know. Her blending in by dancing with a group that literally has all eyes on them is fucking hilarious to me. And the pop of smoke, showing that the woman she's following literally disappears in a random puff of smoke, is really tongue-of-cheek. It really helps me appreciate the movie and kind of dig the vibe that's going on here. Couple that with a sweeping camera that moves, and it constantly keeps interesting subjects and eye-catching compositions amid crowded shots, and I'm ready to go on this wild goose chase. Sorry, Blake. You seem like you had a different impression.
What? Okay, well, all I have written is dancing, then walking away. So that's all I have written. But I do remember this. I don't remember a woman. I remember a guy that the woman in red was following.
Is that a guy?
There was this guy who was dancing, and then she walked up to him and started dancing alongside him.
Yeah.
Then the guy walked away, and then it cut to whatever he was going towards.
Yeah, it was to the drink cart, and that's where the first woman who's in white is
So
drinking something.
I have zero memory of a second woman in this trailer.
Oh, really? Yeah.
My attention was not drawn there in the frame watching this.
Well,
it was all on the guy and then the girl that followed.
Right. So the lady in red, that's a lady.
Yeah.
And bear in mind, we say this, folks, knowing full well 2019 gender's a fluid
They
concept.
could all be men. I don't know.
They could all be G's or Jaws.
Exactly.
No judgment here. But for the sake of, I guess, us figuring this out, we'll say the lady.
I'm just saying, clearly there's a third person in this trailer that my eye was not catching.
The guy is a red herring. So it's you just follow the guy's eyeline. So it's she's dancing in the crowd, this guy is dancing. That guy walks away toward the drink stand where we see this first lady. She's having a drink. She sets that down, turns and starts to walk away. The woman in red, who has been looking over in that direction the entire time, sees that she's left and then stops dancing and then follows her down the street. That's when the pop of smoke happens.
I remember the pop of smoke, but I was focusing on the guy on the left part of the screen.
Don't worry about the guy.
But that's where my eye was drawn.
Well, yeah,
so the
for
composition
her,
may not have been good then.
Well, no, for her, it's this guy walks away, so it's something is catching her eye. Guy walks over to the stand. Okay, that's where the woman she's tailing is. And now she sees that person is walking away. So then we cut back to the woman as she then breaks from the dance troupe and goes after her down the alley.
I misread this so badly.
Or maybe I did.
No,
you gotta figure one of us is right.
I'm just saying, you clearly know the people I'm talking about plus a third person. So you saw more than I did. That's a meh for me.
Okay,
because
cool.
I missed stuff.
That's okay. All right, so next is the new Red Band trailer for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
For my premise, I just wrote, come on, if you pay attention to movies.
Come on. We're about to fly back to Hollywood real quick from France.
Yeah, it's thankfully a quick flight.
Yeah. I
Left.
thought of this joke so long ago, Kevin, when we said we flew to France, and then I almost forgot it.
Well,
but I remembered.
I'm glad we're back in sunny LA.
Stuck the landing of that joke.
Yeah, so I thought that this had really great style. Thought it was really vibrant.
Yeah.
It does give me the sense that the Sharon Tate and Charles Manson stuff is a little bit more disconnected.
It's very much a C plot, maybe.
Yeah, and
or B plot.
if anything, it makes me think that if we're evoking Tarantino, this is probably closer to either Pulp Fiction or Inglourious Bastards in that, yeah, there's a pretty good chance that like the story of Rick Dalton and his stuntman is going to cross paths with Sharon Tate and Charles Manson.
Well, it definitely does. In the trailer, Brad Pitt is sort of being...
Yeah, he's like in their compound.
He's being reeled in.
Yeah.
Like, into the
cult.
I was going to say the gang.
You can just call it the cult.
No, I forgot the word the cult. I wanted to say the cult.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, I mean, gang is still right.
Gang isn't bad enough for what this was. A cult, right, exactly.
Yes.
I loved this trailer very, very, very much. I think the button on the end of the first one was better, which is him reacting to the little girl telling him... Right? Wasn't that the end of the first one?
That is the end of the first one. I don't know, man. I really like your Rick fucking Dalton. I thought that was really cool.
It's fitting.
Yeah.
I just thought the other one was funnier.
That's fair.
Because it was him just being like, this little girl thinks I'm the best actor she's ever seen. She's only 5, but whatever. Anyway, I really dug this one. And
so next is Portrait of a Lady on Fire. This was a 1.5-minute clip. It's set in, let's call it the 1800s. 2 women in big-ass dresses are sitting and they're talking. Things seem tense.
Yep.
And they're trying to get their man to paint a woman, but she doesn't want to be painted, so they have to do it in secret.
yes.
All right, so my synopsis for this. Remember how good The Favorite was? Anyway, the central hook here, you gotta paint a motherfucker without them knowing they're being painted, sounds intriguing. I just wish they had more fun with the idea. You know, like The Favorite had more fun with its idea. I get that the super bright lighting and stuffy compositions are meant to harken back to the paintings of the era. I just wish that they could have been slightly less stiff. You know, like The Favorite had really interesting compositions. While the cold interplay between the two leads in this clip certainly teases tension, I just wish they went all out with it. Sorry, I just know I have a favorite for this genre, and it's going to be hard to top. I shouldn't be comparing it, but that's all my brain went to was I feel like this has been done in like a way more engaging way.
It's hard because it's just a clip,
Yeah.
so maybe it's less of The Favorite than we anticipate. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was an intriguing, simple concept. I was listening to these women talk, and they said, oh yeah, you need to do a portrait. You won't get her to pose, though. You're just going to have to hang out and then do it from memory.
Yeah.
Good luck. So I thought this was a meh good clip.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm more in like the straight math.
That's fair. Yeah.
All right, next is Oh Mercy. This is another clip. Thankfully, there's subtitles. It's in French. Cop goes to investigate a fire that happened, and he interrogates the woman next door. Yeah, that's all I had for the premise, was woman gets interrogated by a cop to see who lit a fire. All I have here is, oh shit, she lit that fire. I said I like the tight drama and framing here. Lea Seydoux looks like she's going to chew the cigarette, the scenery, and then the other actors here show me no mercy.
I really liked this clip a lot. Yeah, I didn't even have anything funny written. I just said, clip, good. Cop investigating fire, witness won't ID the bad guys, good performances.
Yeah.
It was a cool setting, and
Yeah,
I liked
definitely
it.
had a lot of grit to it.
Yeah, and I would watch a whole movie that includes this clip.
Okay.
So that's cool.
All right, next is Sybil. This had a trailer. It was in French with no subtitles, but it seemed apparent enough. The premise is making movies is hard, y'all. I said the humor here actually kind of landed for me. It was nice to see the prototypical stuffy director, who the French tend to take way too seriously, get the piss taken out of them here. Le drama in the beginning fell a bit flat for me, but no subtitles will do that.
Yeah, okay, so you understood a little bit more than I did. I said, I think it's about filmmaking, question mark. Can't understand. Great flow to the trailer, though. I thought it had good energy, and you could, even though I didn't laugh at anything, because mostly, like I said, I couldn't understand it. You can tell that there is a lighthearted side to this movie just watching the trailer. I think that's really impressive when you can do that, when you can show that to an audience who can't even understand the language.
Next, we have Sorry We Missed You, which is a 3.5-minute clip. This is in English, though. It's from a British filmmaker. This clip is parents confront their son, who clearly has like a bunch of spray cans, is clearly tagging stuff up.
Yep.
And the parents are like, you can't do this, you have to have a good life. And he brings up now millennial platitudes, however much I agree with them. what the fuck, like go to university and go into a ton of debt, and it's like there's still good jobs out there, and it's like not really anymore. And they have a big blow-up fight. My premise, I said, finally a Banksy biopic. So the subtler touches, including tattoos on the dad's arms to indicate a previously harder and more rebellious life now reflected in his son, I thought were really cool.
Yeah, I like that. Good shirt choice to just like let it peek through.
Yeah, just enough.
I caught that too. Yeah.
However noble those themes may be to me, man, we were hitting those like they owe us money. Like those come up front and center and take up, and I think override the family drama that this really does want to be at its heart.
Yeah.
Plus, the actor playing the mom is pulling a Greg Jennings and putting the fucking team on her goddamn back. And what does she get in return, James? Generic mom material. And you can miss me with that shit.
I mean, she has more than generic mom material in the fact that the scene ends with her, and you get to really soak in what she's going through and how
like
she's dealing with it.
Which
the
is
words
fair, but
she's
the arc
saying,
the arc in her scene is very much
for sure.
mom.
But like, I feel like you can tell on her face, because she's such a great actress, that she, like you said, putting the team on her back.
She does.
She's going through a lot more that's unsaid. And I think that's really good. I really like this clip a lot. The kid, like, while saying a bunch of things that, like, I couldn't disagree with, still made me side with the dad anyway, because this kid was just so smug. And it's like, yeah, you make good points, kid, but you're still a child, and you don't really have any idea. Like, you've read some shit.
Yeah.
And good for you, but you don't get it. And things will be different when you're my age. Like, the world's gonna change a little bit. Who knows? Maybe by the time you're 40, it would have been a good thing that you went to college. Right now, maybe not so much, but you don't know. You don't know shit. You're just a child. Anyway, he just reeked of, like, kid who thinks he's read so much stuff, so he knows everything.
Yeah, there is definitely an arrogance to him.
He needs so many life lessons to slap him alongside the head along the way.
Well, he does. He completely forgets the personal throughout all of this.
Yeah,
too.
absolutely.
And that's frustrating.
And you could see it when it ends with him and his mom is like, I'm not even trying to argue with you right now. I just want you to look at me. Can you just look me in the eye? And he just walks away, and I'm like, oh, this kid needs to, like, learn some shit.
Sure.
Good clip. I liked it.
Okay, cool. The Dead Don't Die. This is a new Red Band trailer. Zombies attack a small town, and the defense is the most lackadaisical crew on the planet, be it the cops or the mortician, who's also a samurai.
Or the unfortunate farmer.
Yes. And that's the very first thing I wrote in all caps, fuck Farmer Miller. We're showing...
Oh, okay.
I will say, we are showing some VFX deficiencies here. Like, the violence is definitely... I don't want to say bad.
It's not over the top.
It's one of those things where it's really not that gory.
But it's not the point, I guess. So
yeah, it's not the point, but at the same time, at least just based off of the clip, I think having extreme gore on top of how fucking nonchalant they are could have been really cool. And I think could have, like, really helped bring out some more of the humor. Sure, like, there are some jokes that are just very dry, like, oh, that's unfortunate. But at the same time, the stuff that lands here, again, fuck Farmer Miller, I think is gold.
Yeah, it started off on a real high note.
Yes.
And I think it never got better than that, but it maintained that level of excitement for me and just, like, enjoyment.
Sure.
With the exception of when they did a couple head slicing things, I'm just kind of like, oh, that was just kind of meh.
Yeah.
But no, I love this trailer.
Cool.
So, yeah. All right.
We did it.
That's it.
21 fucking trailers, baby.
They have all been weighed and measured, Kevin.
Yes. So now we are going to give out our top prizes.
That's right.
Normally at the Cannes Film Festival, they just give out one Grand Prix, one Palme d'Or. We here at Trailer Hitch are like, spread the fucking love. Because James and I, we're both people of separate sound and mind, and we like different things.
Yeah, equal opportunity.
Goddamn
That's what
right.
that means, right? It's for filmmakers.
Now, I guess in this context, sure. So we're going to give our Grand Prix out, our second place.
The second place.
So my second place is going to go to It Must Be Heaven.
So my Grand Prix is just going to be The Dead Don't Die.
My Palme d'Or is going to go to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Oh my gosh. Shocker.
Cheers already? We both know it's your number one.
Okay. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is my Palme d'Or also.
Yeah.
Well done.
Palme d'Or sweep.
Quentin
Palme d'Or
Tarantino.
sweep.
Palme d'Or sweep. I think it might be the first time in trailer hitch history that our Palme d'Or matched. Or is that wrong?
Boy, if it's wrong, you can write in and let us know. And you can do that on any of these social medias because we're wrapping up.
What a segue. I intended that to happen.
If you are like, I know the answer to this minute trailer hitch trivia, you can hit us up on Facebook and tell us. If you just search Trailer Hitch podcast on there. Mm-hmm. If you want to tweet at us the answer to this minutia, you can do that on Twitter at Trailer Hitch Pod. If you want to take a picture with the answer to this, you can do that on Instagram at Trailer Hitch Podcast.
Take a selfie?
Yes. Yep. Or if you want to email us to give us this answer or to, I don't know, request a trailer or additional thoughts on things.
Or tell us how our new-founded discussion on Pikachu is wrong.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Or Spider-Man Far From Home is dumb.
Let's keep the Pikachu discussions going, folks.
I am serious, though. I genuinely love getting feedback.
Yeah,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And if you want to listen to us and leave a comment like Will did, he did that on YouTube. You can do that on YouTube.
Definitely.
Just search Trailer Hitch Podcast, subscribe. You can like those videos. You can watch them as many times as you want. They're there forever. It's the internet. Or if you want to listen to us on iTunes, you can absolutely do so there as well. Be sure to like and subscribe and rate and review and all of the things.
There's so many things. It's so many things. I mean, really, it's just the things you said just now. Good job.
Yeah.
That's iTunes.
And additionally, we are on Stitcher. I have been told we've been having issues with our Stitcher stream updating.
Oh, no.
So we are taking a look into that. Don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you Android users. I feel bad because it's apparently this issue's been going on for a little while now. And every episode, it's like, don't worry, Android users, we remember you. And apparently that was just a horrific piece of irony every time I said that.
Well, see, this is just great excuse for you guys to comment in. If you're having issues with it, give us a comment. Let us know things are not on the up and up, and we can get it figured out for you guys.
Good one, James.
Thank you.
All right. We would like to thank Danny Schmitz from Lost in the Name for the amazing intro song that you hear.
Gotta love it.
We would like to thank Rachel Ashley for the amazing cover art that you see on iTunes,
Fantastic.
on her Instagram. You can find her work at Mighty Creations on Instagram.
And on the t-shirt I'm wearing right now.
Yeah, you are wearing a t-shirt. We would also like to thank Jenny Hawks, our social media and bad movie correspondent, for the awesome work that she does for us week in and week out.
Non-stop.
And we would like to thank Casey Clowers for the bitching outro, which you are going to hear in just a moment, unless James has something.
Au revoir.
You can't mount holy sails without a sailor stitch, and you can't haul your stuff without a trailer hitch. Trailer hitch.
This is a weird one, James. This, I think, is the first conquest we've done that's happened after the festival has wrapped up. So now that it has wrapped up, are you curious as to what took first and second at the Cannes Film Festival?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding. Yes, tell me, Kevin.
All right, cool. All right, so the Grand Prix of the actual Cannes Film Festival was Atlantics.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Okay, great, good
Right,
for them.
Good for them.
Yes.
And then the Palme d'Or went to Parasite.
Interesting. Which I did like. Mm-hmm. I like that trailer.
It's
messed up, but I like it.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's definitely that trailer is all over the fucking place. But as were a good chunk of these trailers. So for me, a big part of why Once Upon a Time in Hollywood won was it was coherent. Like, it got across its style really well.
Yeah.
As a trailer, it functions really well. But yeah, apparently Parasite, when you see it in full, it makes sense. And apparently so much so that an entire jury of people thought it was the best film of the festival.
Thought is the key word there, Kevin. Thought. Maybe incorrectly, I think, maybe. I mean, we only have a clip to go off of in short trailers, and in one film's case, nothing at all. But I feel like our opinions are much more valid.
So what you're saying is they need people to come in, you would say trailer experts, to also assess I feel like what you're asking for is for us to be like the 12 angry men in the jury that's like, yeah, Parasite's the best movie of the year. And then we'd be like, wait. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood had an awesome trailer. And they're like, that's not relevant here. And we're like, fuck you, we're not leaving until we get a consensus.
Look, you dragged us in here for a reason. And I'm not leaving here until you listen to me.
This is probably why they don't invite us to con, huh?